I'm not gonna lie to you. Today's video is pure luxury porn. It is wealth and status symbol and hype beast galore. This one is pure for the ER degenerates. Now, what does that mean? There are some freaks out there, and I kind of include myself among them, who are obsessive about the nihilist punk couture, American Parisian hybrid luxury brand Enfants Riches Deprimes. And the great thing about this brand is that they simultaneously occupy both ends of the luxury spectrum. They will make the best of the best stuff, from Loro Piana knitwear to insane leather work, and all the way down, they will have just a completely thrashed, ripped, disgusting, paper-thin t-shirt that looks like it came out of a garbage bin, but they'll charge $800 for it. And that makes them divisive, but it also makes the people who are into it very, very, very committed to it. Like, there are a lot of people in the ERD community, ERD cultists, who don't like me because I'm occasionally critical of the brand, or they don't like my takes, or they just don't like that somebody with my personality is like being transparent about this super mystery luxury punk brand that they're so obsessed with. But just because I engage with ERD in a different way doesn't negate it. And today I'm probably gonna piss them off, or make them jealous, or make them just hate watch and pretend my shit sucks, because I've got the best of the best of the best today. Now, I am of the opinion that all ERD is valid, from the cheapest pieces, which are still very expensive, to the most expensive pieces that they make. I think all of it is of a piece of the core ERD brand, but not everybody feels that way. Some people think that the streetwear stuff, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the simpler stuff is like base level ERD, and they kind of snub their noses at it. But the pieces we have today are the stuff that people talk about when they talk about like the high-end ERD, the real ERD, the exclusive ERD, the rare ERD, yada, 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 the stuff that 4G tries to resell for 20 grand, basically, is what I'm saying. These are the two most expensive ERD pieces I've ever owned, and they're the two best ERD pieces I've ever owned. In my last video, I emphatically stated that the latest Enfants Riches Deprimes season is bad, and that the only good piece they released in the entire season was the Bonds of Matrimony t-shirt, which we then looked at in the video. I lied. I did carve out an exception for a particular set of pieces from this season, saying that they were incredible, but I wrote them off as essentially unattainable. Well, I lied about that too, because it has been attained. And it ain't just that. We've got another grail with it. These pieces had a retail value of somewhere around $6K, a little bit more than that, and resale value in the current market, $10,000, more, I don't know. And I think 98% of you are going to cream your pants
yummy.
over one of these pieces, and the other one's gonna be a bit more divisive. So, I don't know, that's enough preamble. The pieces for this video stand on their own and justify its existence, so let's check them out. All right, we have got two pieces here, both absolutely absurd. This one is the Christ Assemblage textured bomber jacket. I just call it the Bad Religion bomber, and you'll see why in a bit. But this one had a retail price of, I think, around 2 grand, and the resale value, I couldn't even tell you, because they don't go up for resale. They don't exist. And the other piece we're going to be checking out is in this garment bag. What mysteries do you hold? Well, let's unzip it and find out. Did I tell you it was blue leather? This is the Spanish Elegy leather racing jacket. It's got a print at the arm, and it's got an even crazier print at the back, entirely lamb leather. And this one has a retail price of like 4.2K, and it's so new that like they're not even really being resold yet, but the resale value will be. I don't know, remains to be seen, but I have a feeling it'll be crazy. Now, you definitely want to stick around to see this. I promise you that, but we can't leave this one hanging. So let's actually start with the Assemblage bomber jacket here. We'll come back to you, baby.
Oh, don't worry, we're coming back.
Holy shit.
Every inch of this thing is exactly what I want out of an ERD piece. The material is gorgeous and interesting. The ribbing is solid and weighty. The pockets are perfectly placed and oversized with branded elements. The sleeve pocket in that classic, Alpha Industries like MA1 style. The relaxed, oversized, boxy fit, and the Bad Religion punk assemblage safety pin elements. All right, let's get into the details. We've got this zipper right here. Really nice, like matte black with the logo pressed in there. Buttery smooth. Little quilted shielding, which you always love to see. And then the inside of the jacket itself, also quilted. So it's your classic ERD tag, but as they sometimes do, you've got the season in there, fall-winter 2022. And what is this piece made out of? So this is a viscose and nylon blend, and it's one of the most interesting materials I've ever seen for a bomber, so we'll check that out shortly. Such a cool combination, and made in Italy. The combination of the nylon and viscose, they're both materials that ERD goes to a lot, but putting them together is rare, and it gives it this kind of like stringy texture kind of thing. Like, it is textured. I can feel the differences in the threads, and it also has like a sheen, a little shimmer, nice long arms that cinch in. MA1 pocket at the sleeve. I love some of this darting that's going on here as well. That's a nice element of detail, and also has the branded zipper pull. Perfect ribs at the hem. It actually feels, I think it is real wool for the ribbing. Not one pocket on the inside, which is beautifully quilted, by the way, but two pockets. So much cargo space in this bad boy. But come on, we all know the reason I love this so much is the design, the detailing here, the assemblage. Now, this is so interesting because I'm pretty sure ERD, they put every single one of these together differently. I've seen a few of these. They definitely didn't make many. I think they only made a few of them, but each one has a slightly different combination of these attachments. So it's a series of safety pins here, which is a staple of the ERD brand, and it's a combination of a few things. You've got these little laminated pieces, some with like religious iconography, but also as a punk who grew up on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, of course, and playing in bands. I started touring in punk bands when I was 12, so of course, Bad Religion is an incredibly important band to me. This is the classic cross logo. And the cool thing about these also is that it's printed on both sides. So if something ends up kind of sideways like this, as it is, they're kind of hanging out, these things happen. You get the visual on both sides, which is really nice. And then there's also another Bad Religion here, the like skull nun, which is a great piece. But then there's some other really cool, interesting stuff going on here as well. And again, not every piece had these. I really like the combination we have here. There's a little baby cross right here. Cool. And then there's some pieces that kind of look like when you put a coin through the press at the museum or whatever. But some of these I think I remember from a necklace that ERD did for Mr. Porter, but I haven't seen them anywhere else. So I love that I have these. So this one right here, it is Saint Dymphna, and it says pray for us on it. Love that. Again, both sides done. That's a really cool, like, vintage style one right here. May literally be vintage. I'm not sure. I've never seen anything like this before. This little, like, coin motif right here. And then there's actually some Rome imagery on the back. So this is, like, a very classic style piece. And finally, maybe my favorite is this aged piece right here. Like, fully patinaed out with this weird, like, waffle kind of thing going on the back. Yeah, I think that's my favorite of the entire bunch. So this is just not going to be for everybody. It's such a unique piece. Like, you have to like ERD's stuff. You have to be into the punk aesthetic. You have to be into this elevated streetwear thing. And you also have to appreciate the thought that they put into what to most people is going to look like a random assortment of laminated pieces on safety pins. Like, most people would be like, that is so dumb. But to me, it is my new favorite piece of outerwear. I am just in love with this thing. And if you're into ERD, what I love about this is it also feels like their early stuff. Like the early Henry stuff where he was putting logos on leather jackets. That's the vibe that this gives me. Like, it's an appreciation of Bad Religion and this punk, religious iconography, kind of sacrilege type stuff, taken to the most elevated extreme. Like your average punk would hate this. Early on, I remember, I think he got into a fight about it and it was a whole thing. But I like how in your face it is. Like the fact that this is a, $3,000 bomber, random bomber with some safety pins on it, makes it special to somebody that cares about this stuff. All right, now let's talk about the Spanish Elegy leather jacket. These are the best pieces they make. This silhouette of leather jacket has always been my favorite ERD stuff ever since they started doing them about 2 years ago, I'd say. But this is the first time I have had one in my collection. This is new for the Spring/Summer 24 collection. It just started appearing in stores relatively recently, and we got one to check out. So let's look at the details. So it is kind of like a dark grayish blue. The color is gorgeous. It's a much darker blue than the product photography they have on their website. That one, it almost looks like shiny, glossy, bright blue. It's quite misleading if I'm being honest. This is a beautiful, dark, very treated and worked lamb leather. Like, look at the texture. Just the natural elements of the leather going on here. It's gorgeous. And they're not afraid at all to let it be uneven, which I love. Like you can see that is almost like blackened over there. You get more of that around the collar, and I think it looks great. One thing they're also doing differently here, like you saw on the bomber, it was like a textured kind of, I don't know, like upscale feeling zipper. This, they've gone in a totally different direction. And they have ERD branded metal zip pulls, which have a very natural patina to them. Like you can see this, which is most exposed to whatever treatments they did, has kind of turned almost bronze color. And then this, which was hidden more in the folds of the pocket, is still keeping its silver tone. I think that's great. So these just feel like higher quality zippers than what they use on their other outerwear. But as you can see, there's zip-up pockets. It's like a white herringbone lining for the zippers, and the pockets are lined in the same lamb leather. The cuffs also have zippers, nice and long ones, so you can really open it up if you wanted to, and all of those are branded in the same way. And then let's talk about the print. So you get a bull print right here in white, and that's just like a taste of what's to come when you get to the back, because you get a massive print at the back. This is like one of the best designs they've ever done. Big lettering, Enfants Riches Deprimes. Then you get a much more detailed bull print right here that goes over the enfant, which is big and bold, which I love. And then classic ERD here. You have a partially nude woman kind of lying in pleasure, ready for what's to come, whatever this is. And actually, Spanish Elegy, I think the name, as far as I can tell, comes from a Motherwell painting about the Spanish Civil War, which is one of the most interesting subjects in history in the past couple hundred years. I would highly suggest you research it. Might help you understand this piece more even, but it was so interesting because you had foreign communists, like non-Spanish citizens from the US and other countries who are supportive of the leftists, like going over there to literally fight in Spain's Civil War, which is just insane. Anyway, the cut's great. I love the shoulders. It's a kind of a slightly cropped fit, kind of like an Americana type of cut. And then the other incredible detail on this is that at each side, you get one of their iconic rose buckles. And this rose buckle, I think, is one of the best motifs ERD has ever done. They do it in all of their belts. They've even started doing metal bats and eagles and stuff. I think this classic rose belt is the best of them. And there's a reason it's stuck around for season after season. So that exists at each side, and you can cinch it up more if you so please. So let's unzip it real quick and look inside. So this is backed right here behind the zipper, so you don't end up pinching anything. Always a great touch. And then when you open it up, you will see that the piece is fully lined in black. And material is like this beautiful glossy twill. Of course, you get a pocket at the inside here and a brand tag underneath that. So of course, you've got the neck tag. There's a neck tag right there, classic ERD. You can see that the neck is also backed in the lamb leather, the season tag underneath, which they do on a lot of their higher end pieces. But then they've got like a custom seasonal tag on the inside here, which is another great touch. This in particular is the Death in Flight motif that they did for the Spring/Summer 24 season. And now finally, let's look to these materials and stuff. This is a size medium. We'll talk about sizing when we try it on. And you can see it is entirely lamb leather with a pure viscose lining. And interestingly, they are making these in Italy. Some of the leather stuff, I believe, is made in the USA or was, but they're really transitioning a ton of their manufacturing to Italy. And honestly, the products seem higher quality to me. So there's a reason that people look to these as the best ERD pieces, from materials to construction to design, silhouette. Every element here is the most considered that they do. This is their highest price tier of item for good reason. Like these ones, even if they don't hold their value to the degree of the retail prices right now, I think they will hold up in terms of quality and style. All right, now that we've checked out all of those details, oh my God, these are the best ERD pieces that like exist. I think maybe I'm done. I don't know if it can go higher than this. I don't know if I can do better than this when it comes to ERD. But anyway, we've got to try them on. We've got to see how they feel, how they fit. Do they live up to the hype? Do they live up to the price tags? Let's see what else we're wearing them with. We have two pieces here, and I actually want to do two different fits. I want to do one that's much more like thrashy streetwear, and then I want to do a slightly more like upscaled indie sleaze type of thing. So for the street look, the Whisper t-shirt, scab jeans from And Mühlemeister, and then we're going to finish it all off with the suede black adolescent high top sneakers from ERD. This is basically like their Vans clones, but that they did in-house. And for the slightly like dressed up type of indie sleaze look, camp collar, occult button down from, look who it is, ERD. Dior Homme leather accented, I don't know, chino pants. It's got like a bondage strap right here. Square toe boots from Rick Owens. They look kind of simple, right? No, wrong. I just got the heel, the sole redone. Great job. I'm excited. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's find out. Do I need to like take out some insurance before I put these on? Is there anything like, should I say a prayer to make sure I don't damage them? I don't know, but we're about to put a lot of money on my body. Let's start with the street style look. Trying to go more for that classic ERD thrashed punk kind of thing. And very central to that are the pants. These are the And Mühlemeister scab jeans, a very thin, very thrashed pair of jeans with this really cool, like scab, sort of like burnt look. It's kind of like sinewy and gross in a way. And yeah, they're quite slim, just so you know. I'm a millennial. I'm an aging punk. I like the fit of slim stuff. Sue me. All right, and for the top, we have got the ERD Whisper t-shirt, the red raglan t-shirt. This thing is really nice. So actually, I kind of lied multiple times because I did say that the only good ERD piece from this season was the Bonds of Matrimony tee, and I already broke that by admitting that this Spanish Elegy leather jacket is also the best of the season, but this is also a very good piece. So there were at least a few good pieces this season. Maybe I was being hyperbolic. But that's enough about that. Let's throw on the shoes. These are the ERD adolescent high top sneakers, just their own version of like some Vans old schools or whatever, but much, much higher quality, much better made, better materials, mainline ERD as opposed to mass market collab. I'll take that any day. We'll throw on some jewelry too, some sunglasses, the ERD Terry Lassery Eye Solar sunglasses, and we'll also throw on a hat. I've got this crazy vintage new era made in USA hat with the embroidery is Gibson and Barnes, who are like a flight suit manufacturer. This hat's sick. If you're interested, I am selling it on my Grail. Check the description. All right, let's get the Christ Assemblage bomber going here. And this thing's great. The texture of that material is beautiful. The little safety pin laminated Bad Religion and religious pieces are fantastic, and they really pop. And I think this is the ideal kind of fit for a jacket like this. It's a very, very street style look. I think this is a good combination of pieces that I would be happy to go out in any day. And as you can see, it is an oversized bomber, and large is already a little bit big for me, but listen, I'm used to wearing a Vetements bomber, which is like twice as baggy as this, so this is like slim to me. But I also think it contrasts well with this slim jeans. But now I really want to see what the Spanish Elegy leather jacket in blue looks like with this. The red, the blue, that's a good pairing, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, so I put this on and oh my sweet Jesus, it's immediately so fucking good. It looks so good, it feels so good. This does feel like a luxury piece. The materials are incredible. The feel is great. That twill inside, it's so nice on every level. Whether it's open, whether it's zipped up, all of it works. It just works. I feel like the only comparison here existing in the modern luxury space are like the Yoji pinup jackets. And I think this is on that level. This has the potential to be an all-timer grail like those Yoji pieces. But now I gotta know, how do these pieces work when you're dressing up just a little bit more? I'm calling this the indie sleeves look, right? So we're gonna start off with the Dior Homme vintage pants from Eddie Slimane. This was when he was designing at the house. Iconic. If you don't know about the Eddie era at Dior, go look into it. This is a great pair of pants with these nice like leather bondagey details. But they're slim, they're low rise, very like rock revival 2000s, which is a look I'm super into. And now the shirt for this one is a camp collar short sleeve button down, also from ERD. And this one is just creepy. It's got like snakes, occult stuff, like shadowy figures. But from a distance, it just looks striking. It just looks weird and off-putting in the best way. And then the boots, I think, are really gonna elevate this. These are the Rick Owens wedge heel boots, super high heel, a very feminine look, but Rick somehow makes them masculine. But listen, they give me that pop of height. They've got that leather look. It just instantly elevates this entire endeavor. All right, but let's throw on that bomber. And this thing's looking good. I don't know, it feels very rock revival to me in like the best way. Like, it feels like I should be going to a Strokes show or whatever in like 2004, which unfortunately I'm old enough to like remember that era very well.
Don't unsubscribe, please. I'm young and cool, just like you.
But listen, this piece is referencing Bad Religion. That's like an 80s band, okay? That's even before my time. So ERD is also into looking back at the coolest punk stuff from the past. But what I really want to see is how this look works with the leather jacket. So Spanish Elegy, let's bring it back out and throw it on. And Jesus Christ, once again, it just works. This thing just looks incredible. It makes everything look so good. Again, zipped up, not zipped up. It doesn't matter. All of it looks good. The proportions here are so good. This is a size medium, and you can see on me, it's a little bit cropped, but the sleeves are the perfect length. The body is the perfect amount of like boxy. It is just next level good. Like, I know these pieces are expensive. I know this. It's absurd. Like, nobody should pay this much for any piece of clothing. I understand. But if you care about this stuff, this is as good as it gets. Like, I don't know if I will ever own another piece that is better than this. I might be at the pinnacle. I think it might be as good as it gets, so I'm going to enjoy it while the moment's here. All right, that is the video. Do you think these pieces are worth 10 grand? Is that possible? Do you think I'm out of my mind? Do you think I'm insane? Do you think these pieces suck? Are you obsessed with ERD? Are you going to plot to kill me to steal these from me? Let me know down below, comment, like, subscribe, do all these like engagement-y things that help me in the YouTube algorithm. That would be great. And I'll see you next time.